In 1990, one of the greatest comic book adaptations ever made burst onto the big screen. Warren Beatty's Dick Tracy. With its star-studded cast, bold colours, unforgettable villains, and a tidal wave of merchandise, this film became a short-lived but powerful cultural phenomenon. Now, more than 30 years later, this podcast is here to explore, unpack, and dissect this brightly coloured masterpiece, week by week, scene by scene. So pull up a chair at the Southside Warehouse, because there's going to be a big payoff.
Welcome to Talking Dick, the Dick Tracy movie podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Simon Creswell, and joining me from the Southside Warehouse is Mr.
James Tilling.
I thought you were going to say the rodent then, or the growl. Or...
Maybe I should do that every week. I'll just say a different character.
In voice, in character.
And I'll take their persona on for the entire episode.
How's your week been, James? Has it been filled with Dick Tracy goodness? Have you been watching the film?
I mean, I haven't watched it this week, but, a day doesn't go by where I don't think about it.
You think about Dick most days.
I do, exactly, I do.
This doesn't get old, does it? Doesn't get old. So on the last episode, we gave a brief overview of what we'd kind of try and do on the show. We talked about our memories of the film coming out. But this week is the big one because we're going to talk about the film. And kind of give us a brief summary of what happens, what our favourite bits are, which bits maybe don't work, and just kind of capture some of that Dick Tracy magic. Yeah. I've got here the 4K Blu-ray. Not 4K then, is it? That's just Blu-ray. That's not.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can't get it on 4K, so it's just Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing that, James, you got me for Christmas, didn't you, a few years ago?
I think I did, yeah, amongst many other Dick Tracy merchandise over the years.
Yep. And we'll be tackling in future episodes the merchandise. That'll be coming up soon. But this, on the back of this, is a little bit of cardboard, and it's got a summary of the film. So I thought we'd start off by reading that summary, because I think last time you read the DVD box, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So
this might be exactly the same.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, so I don't know. Okay. But it says, calling Dick Tracy the worldwide smash hit, Warren Beatty leads an all-star cast, including Madonna and Al Pacino, in this story of a hard-nosed, soft-hearted detective, this sounds the same, and streetwise kid, in inverted commas, with a hearty appetite for adventure. Together they fight to clean up the crime-ridden streets of the city, but standing in their way is a mob of the most colourful gangsters ever assembled. With its dazzling mix of action, adventure, music and incredible special effects, Dick Tracy is not to be missed. Movie experience that will be a thrill for everyone. There you go.
Yeah,
that does sound very similar.
It does. I think it was the same, but it hooks me in again. I still thought that was that was good.
If you saw that on a poster, you would literally be like, in. That's it. I'm there. I mean, go and watch that.
I could give you as just a comparison, much shorter. Unfortunately, is the IMDb synopsis. Okay. So that says the comic strip detective finds his life vastly complicated when breathless Mahoney makes advances towards him while he is trying to battle Big Boy Caprice's united mob.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that kind of cuts out huge amounts of everything else that happens, but yeah,
as a part of the film. The love story there. But,
well, I guess there's three plots, isn't there? There's the love story between Dick Tracy and Tess Trueheart, and the love triangle, obviously with Madonna as well, Breathless Mahoney. The second element is kind of the kid and him. Kind of Dick Tracy finds him at the start, and they kind of develop a friendship, and then he kind of almost becomes Dick Tracy's son. And then the third element, I guess, is him battling Big Boy Caprice, who's trying to take over the town. Was there any more kind of elements to it? Is that they're kind of the three key ones, aren't they?
It starts with Dick Tracy. I think isn't he being threatened with getting a desk job? So he's not going to be an on-street detective anymore. And imagine if he just took that desk job, and the whole film is him just sat there at the desk,
looking at Breathless out the window, thinking, "What if?"
Exactly. So he's got this whole thing about, they want me to get a desk job, but I don't. I want to get out on the street and catch criminals. So it's him having that initial interior battle of basically changing departments. Isn't that exciting? But anyway, and then taking on the hoodlums that are out there. You've got Lips Manless's crew, which you see at the very start, I think, of the film. The guys in the the warehouse. Was it rodent, little face, shoulders, and so forth. And then obviously they're Lips' guys, and then Big Boy comes in and takes them all over. I guess this is what the united mob. He's basically, I'm going to kill out the competition and then absorb everyone all in. And then one big mob, we can take over the city, take out Dick Tracy.
I want Tracy dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, when we watched this the other day, the first 10 minutes, you sort of have the introduction to Dick Tracy. You have Lips manless at the club. You have Big Boy taking Lips manless. You have him killing him in the bath. Not the bath, Big Boy. And then it's all off and running. You have the kid comes in, and this is all within like 9-10 minutes. Yeah. I was watching it thinking the pace, you've almost covered like a whole TV show series in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're completely right. I think with today, everyone expects these long, drawn out, 10 episodes, episodic TV shows. When an hour is hour and 40 minutes, which in movie terms today, that's so short.
Yeah.
So it is so much to cover. And
I did read there was a cut that was 2 hours 15 minutes, and then the studio asked him to cut it back to 1 hour 45. So potentially there's a longer cut somewhere in a safe, that we could perhaps see one day in the Southside warehouse.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll unearth it.
Yeah. But I think that's probably where the montages come in, because this film features 3 montages.
I think it does.
Yeah. So, and there's so much in those montages. They're packed with stuff going on.
I guess another thing to think about as well, we're talking about montages, it's the look of the film. And obviously based on a comic book, and it feels and looks very comic book. One is the way it's kind of lit and the color, and then obviously the colors. I believe it's something like the film apparently it has 7 shades or something. It's like 7 colors, and there's no varying shades out of that. Something again like an actual comic.
Yeah.
And then obviously the massive caricature villains that are in there. So it's a brilliant adaptation of a comic to a film, but keeping the comic book feel and the look and the comic book characters.
I think for me, there's not many films that do that really capture that comic book. Perhaps Sin City is one that really captures it in black and white. Because even the Batman films don't always look like comic books, do they? Sometimes they're gritty or real, or just mad like Batman and Robin. Yeah. But I think it's completely unique. That's one recommendation. If I said to anyone, you want to see an amazing, beautifully looking film, this film looks incredible. And the matte paintings in the background, the back shots of the city, also look just unbelievably great, don't they?
It does, yeah. He's done so well. And again, Sin City is the only nearest one, and that's black and white. So it's like I can't think of another like a comic book adaptation that's as vivid.
There's probably a really obvious one we're not thinking of, like probably, a recent one.
Yeah. Someone's listening and watching this shouting at that.
They're shouting, the Shadow, Dark Man, or something.
Yeah, the Phantom.
The Phantom. But no, his absolute passion for it shines through in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You can just see it. And I read, and I think I've got the fact here, there's 21 villains from the comics in here. Wow. And he tried to cram in as many as he could. I've got a list I can read out. These are all the villains that are in the film. So he's got the Stooge, Shoulders, the Rodent, Littleface, Itchy, Breathless, Lips, Steve the Tramp, Big Boy, Pruneface, Mumbles, Texie Garcia, we'll come back to her later, Influence, Ribs Mocker, Ben Spaldoni, Johnny Ram, the Black DeSanto. I mean, he goes on and on, but he just wants to get as many in as he could. He's a massive fanboy, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I think he knew he was only ever going to make one film, and I'm going to get it all in this one film in an hour and 40 minutes. And that's such a huge undertaking.
Yeah. Hour and 40 to get 21 villains in.
Yeah.
Musical numbers, montages, sets. There's even a CGI moment, isn't it? At the start.
Yeah.
What's that bit at the start of the CGI?
Yeah, I think that's what I did mention in the opening introduction show, but it was the CGI train. So when the kid's running down and Tracy's chasing him just after the very first meet, and he darts in front of a moving train, and that was a CGI train. Which at the time I believe was like one of the first big uses of CGI, because probably the next big one was probably Terminator 2, which was it 2 years later?
Yeah.
So and that was again just leaps in technology that they wanted to use in the film as well.
Yeah. And do you think it being shot on sets adds to it or takes away from it? The fact there's no extras or like all these background noises. A set is clearly a set.
Yeah, but again, these are the things I've always wondered. Is that did he want it like that because he wanted that comic book feel of like maybe it being a little more empty and feeling like a set? Because you're right, it's quite odd at times when there's like daytime street scenes and there's no other cars, there's no one else walking around. Like, where is everybody?
Yeah, maybe it was like that in the 30s. Maybe
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I know if George Lucas had made it, he would have gone back and put that all in later. But but so I'm glad that Warren hasn't touched it and he's just left it. And we can now say maybe that was his intention, and he didn't want to have these busy streets.
But I wouldn't mind a few deleted scenes. I mean, I'm looking at my my Blu-ray here. There's no features. There's nothing.
Yeah,
There's just so little for this film. Maybe a few making ofs, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But just to backtrack then, so the first time I saw this, I remember quite vividly the opening with the gangsters being shot, just being absolutely blown away by that scene. Because first of all, you see all their faces. You've got a little face, and everyone's like hideous.
Yeah. And
you got the tension of the kid in the room watching them, and then the police. So the gangsters, turn up, shoot everyone, don't they? And then Tracy turns up at the crime scene. Just intense, so intense, such a crazy opening, and the noise when you play that on your TV, the gunshots and the noise.
Well, little face.
Yeah, that scene for me is just one of my favourite moments of all time. It's really short, really.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's a bit of a nod to like Sergio Leone with Once Upon a Time in the West, because at the beginning of that film, there's 4 or 5 famous actors, and you're meant to think like, oh, these are some big guys. These are going to be the big kind of like hoodlums in the movie, and they'll get wiped out. And so at the beginning of this film, these are 5 or 6 key Dick Tracy characters that have been in the comics for decades and decades, and you're being introduced to them. Obviously, as a fan, you'd be like, oh, look, it's Road and Shoulders, it's a stooge. And you think, oh, hey, we're in. And then in comes Flat Top and Itchy and guns them all down. You're like, what the hell? And I think that's why there was no introduction to that scene, because it's a bit like, if you know Dick Tracy, you know these are big guys, and so you're not expecting them just to get wiped out.
Well, in fairness to the guy that had Little Face's makeup, he probably couldn't have done more than one scene, could he? No. He's like, please kill me. Please take this off. Just can't breathe. So the next big character that comes into it is probably Steve the Tramp. He follows the kid, doesn't he? And then you go and meet Steve the Tramp. Again, another hideous character.
Yeah.
And terrifying, really.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying about the hideous looking, all the prosthetics. I'm not entirely sure of this, but is it that only the bad guys, as it were, have prosthetics on and the good guys don't? Because obviously, easy to cut the ones that don't, like Tracy doesn't, Sam doesn't, Pat doesn't.
Does Sam not have, I feel like he's just probably quite made up. Like, maybe he doesn't have any.
No, he's got quite a weathered John Wayne look to him. Definitely, when I watched it again, I was like, he is definitely one of my favourite characters.
Sam
Catcham. Added to the fact it was the first figure I got as well.
I was going to say that we'll get to figures in the next episode, but that was your first figure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think Prune Face is made up. Isn't that R.G. Armstrong's natural face?
I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah,
it is. It's exactly what he looked like.
But I think I did read that. Warren Beatty did try a nose change to get the comic book character. Apparently, more of like a hook. No, he did, apparently.
Really?
It just didn't work, I think.
Yeah. I think he made the right call there. Or
like Bradley Cooper in that where he was Oscar nominated.
Oh, yeah.
The recent one, we had the big nose.
Yeah.
But no, so maybe you're right. I'm trying to think of a good guy in the film that is made up to look different. But 88 Keys, a little bit, but he's also kind of bad guy, isn't he?
Yeah, but then him and Breathless are like, they're just the performers, aren't they? She's just a singer. He's just the piano player. I know that he gets involved with the blank and proposes the deal to Big Boy, so he kind of becomes a bit of a member. But the kind of key, bad guys all seem to have the prosthetics, which is so good. The prosthetics, it holds up.
Just
Like,
excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, like again, when I was watching it, and it's like Big Boy. Again, I wonder now, like if they've like seen the Penguin or Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and it's like it's so close to Big Boy.
Yes, yeah.
Even the way it looks, the mannerisms, but the prosthetics. Everyone's saying, "Oh, that was such good prosthetics." I'm like, Big Boy looks great. He really
was
does.
Oscar nominated. Al Pacino.
Yes,
So you know, we'll get to the awards at some point. But one thing I was thinking when you see Al Pacino though is this is Michael Corleone. This is Tony Montana. It's such vastly different gangsters. I mean, that to his credit, he absolutely takes Big Boy and runs with it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's got ridiculous quotes. I mean, my favourite I wrote down here: "Say goodbye to oxygen." Just really made me laugh. And some of the stuff he says to Tess at the end when he's trying to take her to the bridge, he says all these crazy lines, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, brilliant. Again,
Tells
I
her he
wonder.
loves her.
Yeah.
I've got a Ford.
Yeah. It's as if it's like he does it just because she just stands there and just like in shock of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's if like she could just push him and go, but it's just like it's just so ludicrous and so insane. I'm frozen. I don't think I could do about it.
She could easily take Big Boy out.
Yeah.
Maybe most people could.
A woman! A woman! A woman! I've been humiliated by a woman! The way I see it, and Plato agrees with me, is that there is what is, and then there is what we would like it to be. Well, that's not important. What's important is the future. It's planning ahead. A man without a plan is not a man. Nietzsche. Wait a minute.
But we've drifted off from the plot again. So he meets the kid, and the kid, he kind of throughout the film is he going to go to the orphanage? Is he not? And he kind of almost takes him on as his son, like surrogate son. And the kid eats a lot of food, doesn't he? Which is one of the best little montages. When do we eat?
When do we eat? Yeah, that is good.
And he has got a real likable character, isn't he? Actually, because kids can be annoying. Like thinking like Jake Lloyd in Phantom Menace, or some of those other 90s films. But he's really good in this.
He is really good. I should have done the research and actually picked up what his name was, but he's a really good little actor because he did Hook with Steven Spielberg, Robin Williams a year or two later. But
that's right. He's the kid from Hook, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Historically, child actors. Yeah, today the bar has been risen so high, but back then they were pretty rusty. But he's really good. And
his name's G. Corsimo.
Okay.
Corsimo. He's still acting. Looks like he's still doing stuff.
Oh, right.
Born in 78, so he would have been 11, 12 around that time.
Yeah, so he would have been like 5 years older than us at the time.
Yeah, I think he really works. And I think he, as a kid watching it, I think we felt that's what our in, wasn't it? We could relate to the kid. And then as an adult, I guess you're watching it relating to Dick Tracy, aren't you? But Warren Beatty's about 50 when he made this, wasn't he? I think I looked at the maths on it.
I think you're right. Yeah. I mean, he does look good. He definitely could pass for like 45, absolutely.
Well, I did look up casting what ifs on who else was in the running to see who else might have played Dick Tracy. Do you want to hear some of the names?
Yeah, go for it.
James Caan, who obviously is in the film.
Yeah.
Anyway, Harrison Ford. Which is
okay.
Too close to Indiana Jones, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, with the fedora. It's just a different colour fedora, that's it.
Now, this one I'm going to say is going to make you laugh, but I could actually see it. Richard Gere.
Yeah.
He literally, you can see
it's the squint.
Oh. The squint, which we're doing now.
Tess, don't go. Yeah.
Mel Gibson. No, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, no.
He's got the right chin. Paul Newman. Probably a bit too old by then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. Robert Redford, obviously kind of linking in with that. Yeah. George C. Scott, and finally, my favourite, Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. I think as well because you have a bit of a physical prowess as well. Warren Beatty, I don't know. He seems like he's quite a big guy in it. I don't know how tall he is. But like again, like Tom Selleck's a big guy. So he would have been quite, overbearing.
What about Christopher Walken as Dick Tracy?
Tell me, where's lips manless? That's probably an awful impersonation. I won't do that again.
No, that was good. I enjoyed that. One thing I noticed rewatching this back is Dick Tracy is a bit fumbling He's not very good. He's great at the crime stuff. He'll catch Big Boy and he'll fight. When it comes to talking to a woman or like being normal,
he basically reverts back to being an 11-year-old.
Yeah,
I think the kid is better with women than he is.
Yep,
Isn't
he just doesn't know what to say, does he, to a woman at any point? But it's an interesting way to play it because it almost gives him a flaw, doesn't it? But I guess perhaps he looks so cool and he's so effortlessly, and he's an amazing detective. Maybe he needs a bit of a flaw. Maybe he's socially awkward. So the next thing then is the introduction of Big Boy and the gangs, and then they kind of get together and they want to take down Dick Tracy. And there's a push, isn't there, to take Tracy out? But Big Boy kind of plays it quite cool. And he's like, no, we're not going to take him out because I'll get the blame. They point the finger at me.
yeah. Because he was at Prune Face is going, what are we going to Tracy now? Isn't it?
But there's this amazing scene where all the criminals get together around the table in the film, and it's just like a who's who, isn't it? You've got Dustin Hoffman's there as Mumbles. James Caan is there. I think the headmaster from Back to the Future is also in it. I always forget his name.
Is he?
Yeah, you don't realise this. Whose name again? People are going to realise this when they listen to the pod that our brains are just mush, and we don't withhold any information when it comes to names. And then also, I mentioned her name earlier when I read out a list of names, but there's a character, a female, around that table, sat there in that scene, who plays the character of Texie Garcia. And I told you the other day, did you remember who I told you that was?
You did. It's the mum from Home Alone. O'Hara? It's Catherine
O'Hara.
Yeah. But I didn't know until you told me, a week or two ago.
I think she's in 2 scenes, maybe that one. There's one other scene I think she's in, where she plays, she's in the nightclub, I think, as well. So she's in that scene. Then obviously Dustin Hoffman, we've mentioned, just all these actors, and Dick Van Dyke is also in the film, isn't he, as well? As the, what is his actual role? Is he mayor? Is he governor?
Yeah.
What's his?
Isn't it? I thought he was the mayor. I think he's the mayor. And obviously the old stereotype that, is the backhands that are going on between, the gangsters and him, and he's doing them favours. But yeah, you're right. Again, like getting Dick Van Dyke in it. It's just like, who was associated with Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And then suddenly he's like put into this, and he does it really well.
Yeah, there's a brilliant shot where he meets them at the graveyard, doesn't he? He meets Big Boy and his gang at the graveyard. And this is this great shot of a graveyard where the Big Boy and the gang are walking towards him. And they basically tell him, no, you do what we say, basically. And he walks away. But it's just elaborate. This 2-minute shot. It just didn't have to go to that effort to make that scene so memorable, but they do.
Yeah. Again, super comic booky, isn't it? It literally is a still taken straight out of the comic.
But it's also nicely shot as well, to Warren Beatty's credit. He does a lot of deep focus, with the 2 shots in focus at the same time. Is that deep focus?
That's another name for that. I can't remember. So is that when they shoot them and then they merge them together so you can have both in focus?
There's a few of those in the film, but it's just the angles. There's a lot of kind of cool angles as well, particularly in some of those montages.
Yeah.
I'm thinking when he punches the guys, you see Dick Tracy punch like 2 or 3 guys together, and some of those shots are almost like Batman-ish, aren't they? Yeah. You could almost see Tim Burton could have done this.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the score, the Danny Elfman score, that adds to that.
It does. Yeah, definitely. The introing theme is like it feels very Batman.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the score with the film? I mean, it's there from the outset. How do you rate that score amongst other films?
It's a great score, and it does work so well. And I think Danny Elfman did a fantastic job of it. I still that intro music. When it's panning over the city with the opening credits.
Yeah. Now
it's
try
brilliant.
And hum Batman though.
Yeah, you're right. No, it can't. Exactly the same.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
but who cares? It doesn't matter.
Right.
And not just that. Obviously, he's got the songs by Madonna, and we're going to do a whole episode on Madonna because that's a key element of this.
Yeah.
But her character comes in very subtly. She's just sort of there in the background. She's with Lips. We think she's with Lips.
Yeah, so I think, you're right. I think she is with him again, it's not explicitly said, but I think she refers to him when he's eating his oysters at the start, and
Yeah.
she kind of makes a remark like, "Oh, you make me feel sick." He's like, "Oh, you didn't used to," and she's like, "Oh, you didn't used to be a Zeppelin." So it's implying that they've been together a period of time. He maybe used to be quite a handsome guy, and now he
Can't
just
see it. Can't see it.
no. But yeah, you're right. And but she's like a possession. It's like she's owned by Lips. Big Boy takes all of Lips' territory, and she comes with it as another possession.
And she's very, very sexualized in this film. You know, and that's one of the key plots. Is she tries to seduce Tracy, almost pretty successfully. I think.
Yeah.
There's a point where he kisses her, and if Tess hadn't turned up at the door, probably would have gone further, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think it could have done. Yeah, but she's again, like as a name, absolutely massive. And in 1990, probably nearly at the peaking, up in the top peak of her stardom at that point.
Well, her and Michael Jackson. I mean, they're the two biggest musicians on the planet at that point, aren't they? So you know, it's and he's not in it. He wouldn't need the makeup, would he?
I have permanent prosthetics.
He would look great. Yeah. But I mean, this is so. If you haven't seen Dick Tracy and you're thinking, "Wow, I want to watch that," I mean, first of all, why are you listening to this if you haven't seen Dick Tracy? But now we're going to spoil it because Madonna F.S. Mahoney also plays another key part in this film, and this is the big twist. James, who does Breathless Mahoney play?
It's the blank. And does a good job of that, gets Tracy incarcerated. And then obviously big reveal at the end, giant spoiler alert, that mask gets taken off and it's Breathless underneath it all. And she's been playing a double-sided game the whole time, but underneath it all, she was trying to help Tracy, but at the same time, she kind of wants to die because she wants him and she knows she'll never get him.
Does she die, do you think? I guess she does. But she definitely passes out. But they're calling an ambulance, aren't they? You never know.
That's true. Yeah, I think that if they wanted to do a sequel, they could easily say she survived. They could, But since they wipe out nearly everybody else in it,
no one left.
No, there isn't. Yeah.
There's a sequel book, isn't there, which we'll talk about on a future podcast. But I believe that follows a path with some of the survivors and stuff. So I don't believe she's in it. But
no.
Yeah. So there's a few people that could come back. But so we get to the end of the film. Obviously, Tracy does defeat Big Boy's gang after Big Boy tries to set him up. And then at the end, there's a showdown with Big Boy, captures Tess, and he tries to crush her head like a melon, is it? Or like a walnut?
Yeah,
Can't remember what it says now.
There's also obviously just thinking, just before that scene, obviously, there's the massive shootout, which as a kid was my favourite scene, when they're all in the garage and they open up the garage and they all kind of come out in all their cars, and you've got Itchy and Flat Top in one, and then you've got, I think it's like Influences in another one, and then obviously all the cops are there, and Tracy is just standing there, like he's not hiding behind
Tommy gun.
He's not got any cover. He's not hiding behind a police car. He is literally just marching his way down with his Tommy gun, and just there. And then at one point, I think Flat Top smashes out one of the windows and just turns and shoots him, and it's just constant shooting, firing, and killing. And as a kid watching that, I just like it was no. I realise now that there's no blood, but I didn't at the time. I didn't realise that, but it's like I was like, I've never seen a film with such a high body count. This is incredible that I'm allowed to watch.
Well, 1990 is like a golden age for modern gangster films, but not so much kids ones like this. But I mean, there's Goodfellas, Godfather Part 3, Miller's Crossing, King of New York. That's around 1990. There's just loads of them, isn't there? But this is the one that we could access, we could see, and it's got just as much violence as any of the others.
Yeah, exactly. Your parents are saying, this is fine, you can watch this. Like, it felt like there was like, you shouldn't be watching it. Like, is it okay? Am I all right to be watching this? Like, it's like, and that's it. And that was just.
There's no blood. There's no blood in Dick Tracy, so they get away with it on that that aspect. But the end showdown is the Blank and Tess and Big Boy, and they're in like a building with cogs turning.
It's the bridge because Big Boy is trying to escape out of the city, I think. Yeah. Or go in.
You're going into the city. He's trying to go into the city.
He wants to go into the city to hopefully evade Tracy, as if to see that if he goes in the city, that's not Tracy's jurisdiction, and then he could hide. It's like Tower Bridge. Hopefully everyone largely around the world knows what Tower Bridge is anyway. And obviously there's a boat coming down the river, so the bridge is already being lifted. So by the time they get to the join, there's like a 10-foot jump, and he thinks about jumping and he doesn't. And then he has to backtrack to go back down. Yeah. And then I don't really know why. And maybe he goes to hide inside like the tower where all the cogs are, as if to wait for it to drop back down again so that he can cross.
Yeah.
And
but sadly he meets his fate there, doesn't he? Because he fights Dick Tracy and gets knocked down into the darkness.
Yeah.
You don't see him die as such, but he's he's clearly dead.
Yeah. Very like Emperor Palpatine Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, literally over the balcony joking, oh.
I think it's a shame he doesn't shout, Tracy!
Tracy! Yeah. Or in that scene just prior to that, he goes, I have a thought. I have a thought. It's coming. It's coming. No, it's gone. Or if he as he went down, I know what my thought was.
Yeah. You should have just had a lot of walnuts falling down on top of him. And then the film kind of concludes with Tess and Tracy in the cafe, and they've started a life together with the kids, and Tracy still, loves his work. But then he gives her the engagement ring. Yeah. He sort of throws it to her and he says, you're 1 in a million. And I watched that the other night and I thought, why didn't I propose like that? And I thought, well, my wife wouldn't have got it, would she?
Yeah. And most women would go, no, do it properly or don't do it at all.
Yeah. As I'm standing there in my yellow fedora, like, you're 1 in a million. I mean, we've skipped tons out. There's way more to this film than that. I think I find it difficult to almost remember where the scenes come and go. Every time I watch this, I'm always like, what scene comes next? Where does that bit fit in? Yeah. But because it's endlessly watchable. I could easily watch this, stop at the tape, watch it again. Yeah, because
I don't think you can tell the time frame of how much time has passed. You know that it ends on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
But you don't know where it starts. It's like, I don't know, maybe it could be September, October, and we're looking at like a 3-month window. But it is hard to, you don't really know where one day ends, another one starts, and does a week pass? Like when Tracy goes to prison, it's like, how long was he in there for? Like, obviously, Big Boy ramps up all of his business during there. He's like he was locked up for a few weeks, maybe, or could it have been months?
It could easily be 2 weeks or 2 years. It's almost impossible. I mean, Tess goes out of town, doesn't she?
Yes.
How long's that for?
Yeah. But in a good way, you don't question it. You just accept it and you carry on. It's like it doesn't really. It's not imperative to the story to know how much time is passing. It is a collection of scenes all put together, and you're just going from one scene to the next. It just hooks you to the next one and the next one.
Yeah, I think it's aged really well though, because it's a period piece, and it just flows. The pacing is good for a movie from 1990. Yeah, perhaps cutting half an hour out of it. Maybe that worked. I mean, who knows whether the longer cut was just slower. I don't know. Maybe we didn't gain anything from that. Yeah. But what we're talking about, different people in it. One other person I spotted in it was Kathy Bates. She's, when Mumbles is being interrogated, she's there just typing or trying to type. And that's it. That's the only scene she's in. And then she won the Oscar in 1990 or 91 for Misery.
Yeah.
She's got an Oscar-winning actress just in one scene.
So did she star in 2 films in the same year with James Caan?
Yes, she did. Yeah, but of course not in the same scene. But yeah,
no, exactly. But credited for the same movie.
Yeah, so. The IMDb will literally be Dick Tracy and Misery.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could have a great kind of pub quiz round of Dick Tracy cameo actors. Like, now, were they or weren't they in it? I mean, we'll be the only 2 out of that quiz, but it'd be a great quiz.
We win.
Yes. If you got the DVD of this film and you're working in a video store and someone says to you, like, what genre are you going to go and put that movie in? Are you going to put it in the action films, comedy films, romance films, or even musicals? Like, where'd you put it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's an action comic book comedy musical.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
action essentially you'd want to put at the start, but it's also got elements of a thriller. You know, Tracy gets set up, doesn't he?
Yeah. Mm.
And double crossed.
Yeah.
And there's that element of it.
Yeah. But like the IMDb, two-liner was heavily on the romance.
Yeah.
It's to say it's like a romance film, and it is. It's kind of
It's a love triangle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like most movies, that's like the bedrock of your film is the love story. This is just one part of it. Or with a gangster film, it's all about the fractures between the gang and the police, and the music. Like you now think like, what a bold move to have so many musical numbers in there. And obviously having the music rolling over the montage sequences, it's so different. I don't know.
Well, he's got 3 original songs in this by Stephen Sondheim, who wrote them for the film, Sooner or Later, and a couple of the other ones on the Madonna soundtrack, because this film has 3 soundtracks. It has the score, it has the Madonna, Dick Tracy songs, and it has another one as well, which is songs, I guess, inspired by the film. God, like your tie-in songs.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole podcast on the soundtracks. But that, on top of the look of it and the absolute sheer amount of actors and everything else, he just threw everything at this.
Yeah. Yeah.
More so than Batman. We mentioned Batman before, didn't we? But even more so than Batman, he's just chucking everything at this.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything more he could have done. I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, but how he kind of managed to get so many of these actors into it, and that some of them playing such small roles and such huge actors.
Yeah.
It's just quite incredible. Like, I can't imagine that the Dick Tracy fan base pre the movie was so big, or these other actors were all like, yeah, I read those comics, I really want to do it. Like, the kind of draw that a Batman would have. People go, I want to be associated with it, And so they did. I think they did it for him. I think and I think he really was Hollywood royalty at that point. And arguably he still is. But at that point, he was just looked at as like, oh, for Warren, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah. And there's a character in it as well, that the guy who's listening to Big Boy's conversations and obviously telling Tracy what's happening.
Yeah.
That character is from Bonnie and Clyde, that actor.
Oh, really?
So that's another little nod to a previous Warren Beatty film. Obviously, he was in Bonnie and Clyde in 67. So he's bringing in his mates. He's bringing in like references to other films. There's just all these old actors. And I think I read somewhere a couple of the guys who are in the hotel when Tracy's set up. The 2 old guys downstairs, they were from something else. From the 40s and 50s. We'll have to look into who they were. But just kind of grabbing everyone. And they obviously, he's so respected in Hollywood. No one said no. I mean, Dustin Hoffman didn't have to do that part as Mumbles. He's in 10 minutes of the film, didn't have to do that.
No, yeah, exactly. And you're right, and he did. And it's like, you wonder, was it a call of like, Warren wants you in a movie? Yeah, I'm just there. I'm there. It's kind of like what Tarantino has as a director. You get a call from Tarantino to be in your film, 9 out of 10 actors are going to go yes, and won't even read the script. And it felt like Warren had that like influence over these actors.
Yeah, and he was dating Madonna at the time, wasn't he?
I'm
sure they were an item.
I don't know if it was pre the film or during, but you're right, they did. So yeah.
No wonder he wrote that scene where she turns up in the black dress, with next to nothing on.
Yeah, exactly. Which as a kid, again, was pretty jaw-dropping.
Yeah. That scene probably got a lot of kids through puberty, that did.
Yeah.
Speaking of Madonna, one thing that came to me when I was watching it, her car. How cool is her car? She's got this pink, like gangster car from the 1930s, which stood out to me.
I tell you what, it made me think of. It was like Lady Penelope's car from Thunderbirds.
It's got a touch of Lady Penelope about it.
Yeah, but it's an awesome car.
That quite kind of stood out to me. Another thing that stood out to me: Big Boy's obsession with choreography and trying to get those dances right. I love his commitment. You're the boss of a huge gang. It's 2 a.m. and you're there dancing with your dancers, telling them what to do.
And nothing's better than
He's done that the very same night that he's taken over the club. He's put Lips of Manliness in the bath, and he's come back to the club, and he wants to choreograph a dance sequence.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I guess it was. I assume it was trying to show him as an absolute control freak.
Yeah,
and oh no, that's what he is. Yeah, I want to take over every gang. I want everything. I just want to take control of everything.
Yeah, and then later in the club scene when they are dancing, Pruneface or Influence or someone says to him like, "Oh, this is great." They really big him up and say how amazing it is.
Yeah,
because they know how hard he's been working at it. Can you imagine De Niro's character in Goodfellas?
Yeah,
just like or Casino.
Yeah.
Like running a club and just being so invested in the dancers.
yeah. It's weird because like you wouldn't think it would work, but it does. Yeah. Because he also there's a secret as well when he walks past me because he kind of gives a few little taps to Breathless, and there's one point he kind of gives her a proper good old whack on her stomach. And it genuinely, she flinches. It gave her a pretty hard hit. She gets slapped about quite a bit in the film as well.
Yeah, I think just going on to bits that maybe wouldn't work today, I think that's one of the elements. You can't have your lead actress just casually slapped every now and again. It's when he calls her over. She's on the other end of the table, he calls her all the way over. She sits on his knee and he just goes...
Yeah.
Come here. I'm your business. Okay, numbers. Let's see your numbers.
Just that's probably why it's not on TV in the daytime anymore. Those kind of little bits that don't age well, casual domestic violence. The other bit that doesn't work for me, I don't know how you feel about this, is when Pruneface and Influence are trying to shoot Tracy. He puts his coat up and they shoot his coat thinking it's him. And then Dick Tracy comes out of the cement and shoots. Yeah. Did he shoot Pruneface or someone else shoots Pruneface?
It's the blank shoots Pruneface, isn't it? Because his gun jams.
Yeah, his gun jams because he's in cement. I was like, hey, what was his plan here? Yeah. Why didn't he just stand behind the cement box or to the left of it or lie on the floor or anywhere? Why did you get in the cement where you can't see?
You're right. There was little to no logic behind that. Again, maybe that was cut and shot differently, and it got re-edited into that. So now it doesn't make sense. Yeah,
perhaps there was a longer sequence, but it really reminded me of Roger Moore as Bond in Octopussy when he dresses up as a clown to defuse a bomb for no reason. He spent ages putting all the clown makeup on. I was like, Bond didn't need to do that. He just turned up. No. It's like anything else, I don't know, repairman.
Why the clown?
But that was one of those weird moments. What else doesn't work? Anything you were thinking of that didn't work for you, or is not aged well?
It's too perfect. So perfect, it's hard to it's hard to break it down.
We can't talk about greatness and bring it down.
I mean, I guess probably one thing I would feel now is that I feel that too many characters get bumped off. Which when I was young, it was great. It's fine now. Yeah, they're killing all the gang, but there's now the finality to it that it's like. Big Boy's gone, Itchy's gone.
Well, I've got a little fact for you here. I've got the body count. Want to have a guess how many people die in this film? In this kids' movie.
This kids' movie. I mean, I'd say 17?
I had 10. 27.
Really?
Yeah, 27 people. I guess that's on screen confirmed. So, for a kids' film, 27 people died.
I mean, obviously, my maths isn't that great, but to work out, how long you've got to go before there's another death. Yeah, it's probably every 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess you can't confirm them all because when the car shoot out at the end, you don't see everybody get shot, do you? You see Flat Top and Itchy get shot. But interested to know if Madonna's counted in that as well.
Okay,
I don't know if she is or not. Madonna, on the subject of her, do you think she played the blank scenes?
I don't actually. No. I think only the reveal. Again, I'm sure we have to fact check that, but I was thinking that because it does look bigger, and I think in the scene where D.A. Fletcher gets killed, Van Dyke's character, and Tracy's passed out in another room. I may be misremembering this now. If it was the blank that carries him in, or is it 88 Keys that does it? I think it's 88 Keys.
No, it's the blank.
It's the blank.
They're both in the corridor, and that's the only time you see the blank do anything.
Yeah,
kind of is.
But you're
not
thinking
in the shadows.
There's no way that Madonna could have just put Warbeat, over her shoulder and just casually walked and plonked him down.
Yeah.
So
I did read that apparently Dick Van Dyke broke his arm in that scene. and that's the
way.
one that's in the film. Yeah, apparently when he falls.
Oh, but when
he
he falls back. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Tracy, you're late. Wait a minute. Who are you?
Again, I don't know how true that is. One thing I was just going to go over, just to tell you here, it says filming began on February the 1st, 1989, and ended on April the 27th, 1989, after 85 days of filming, using 53 interior sets, 25 exterior sets. The production employed 305 cast, crew, and post-production personnel, and post-production took almost a year. So it's almost the last film of the 80s, really. Shot in the 80s. I never think of it as an 80s film, but actually, really, it's more 80s than 90s, really.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, but it was all shot in the 80s. Yeah, just the release was then. That was a quick turnaround. Really quick turnaround.
Because we went to, me and you went to Florida in 1991, and the Dick Tracy show just ended when we went in that April. We did look it up. It ended in February, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
But there was a bit of a Dick Tracy hangover, wasn't there, at the time?
There is. Yeah. I remember, like, there was a lot of, it was like one of the tours you could go on, and they had a lot of the cars.
Yeah.
Didn't they? And like all the ones with all the bullet holes in. So I remember that being pretty amazing. Like, oh my God, it's the actual cars from the film.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
But you just kind of don't think that, I don't know, a year later, probably Disney got rid of all that. Like, what's next? You know?
Yeah.
Anything else we haven't covered? I'm just trying to think if there's any kind of key things. We've kind of zipped through it all, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think hopefully the idea is that, everyone's got an idea of kind of, what the movie was about. And hopefully this is enough for you anyway to listen and carry, you don't have to watch the movie. This might be enough for you to be like, oh, okay, I've known enough about it now.
I know the twist.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can go and, to watch it for yourself. But I think, I mean, talking to you about this again now, it reignites to me what a good film it is. It really is.
I always want to go watch it again now.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually, every time I watch it, I spot some stuff in it I didn't see or didn't pick up the first time. And one thing I did take away from this time, I was like, at the end, is Big Boy Caprice misunderstood? Because when you watch the film, actually, he's not tried to kill everyone. He tries to reason with Tracy. And he tries to look, take some money. I want you on my side. Doesn't want to just shoot him straight away. He wants to work with him.
Yeah.
At the end of Tess, he's very apologetic. He just wants to run a club. And also, I think he says in it, doesn't he? Oh, I just want to take $1 from every shop in town. He wants to do a bit of racketeering.
Yeah.
If I just take $1 here and $1 there, he's not got these huge ambitions. He's just wants enough to get him by and sort of. Is he misunderstood?
I don't know. I think that is the cleverness of Big Boy, to kind of give you the impression that he's okay. He's not such a bad guy. I only want $1 here, $1 there. I don't kill anyone. I don't get my hands dirty, because he's got all of his guys to do all the dirty work for him, and so that he can stand at the top, but perceivably squeaky clean, and get away with it.
Yeah. No, maybe. I mean, that was just my take this time. And every time I get a different take, every time I watch it. But that's something that stood out for me. Maybe as I'm getting older, I'm just relating to Big Boy.
Yeah.
As opposed to Tracy.
He's just misunderstood. He's just like me.
I'm going to get that printed on a poster.
Yeah.
And we will talk about the poster and stuff, I'm sure, in a different podcast. But the final point here, the poster really sold this film as well. It's so simple. I mean, it's right here,
Yeah.
Well, there's different versions of it, but just that black, I mean, you can see that one there.
Yeah.
The silhouette of the yellow, the red, the blue, those posters were incredible, weren't they?
Yeah. It is pretty, it's like simplicity is the key. It's just, and straight away, you know what it is. It's Dick Tracy.
This is marketed to a T. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else with the Madonna tie-ins and the merchandise and the poster and the look of the film, everything. I mean, this is, for me, just pretty perfect in terms of marketing a blockbuster. I can't think of anything since they've done better.
No. I mean,
we're so biased.
Yeah, but it felt like it was getting the Star Wars merch PR push. It was just, it's massive. What?
Well, actually, in fairness, again, we keep talking about Batman, but I think these two are so interlinked. The Batman poster, so simple, everyone knows that poster. Perhaps they were trying to get that same vibe. I don't think this film exists without Batman. I mean, that's perhaps a discussion for another day, but that did so much of the groundwork in what could be achieved. that I think they then were like, oh, okay, let's borrow some of that.
But you wonder, I guess they would have both gone into production simultaneously. But obviously Batman was just, a year or whatever just ahead. But they would have both been in pre-production at some point together. But quite likely that, they could have taken a few little influences from, excuse the pun, from Batman to put into Dick Tracy.
Yeah. That's the crossover we need. Dick Tracy and Batman. Detectives unite,
Yeah.
We've got to think who would play Dick Tracy now, but we'll save that for another pod.
Yeah, we will.
We've got so much to cover, and we have to stop talking about the film because we've given a good oversight of what happens. I don't think there's any key parts we've missed.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And I'm sure we'll go back and go into some detail on some key sequences that we've said here or some we've completely missed and forgotten.
Yeah, and just one final thing. I mean, we can be doing this all night, but one final thing. It's written by Jim Cash and Jack Eaps. Jr. You had a little fact about them you wanted to share.
I did, yeah. So those guys, co-writers, also co-wrote Top Gun Maverick, and Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
Yeah,
Turner
exactly.
And Hooch.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you need?
Exactly. You're right.
Again, just assembling the best team. I'm looking at the credits here on the back. Cinematography by Vittorio Storaro. Don't know how to pronounce his name. Again, very famous cinematographer. I don't know about the editor. We can look into that. Music by Danny Elfman. Just got the best people to make this film. The power of Warren Beatty.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming to an end now. So what we're going to do at the end of each podcast is do a couple of things. Purchase or merchandise product of the week. That's anything we've brought related to Dick Tracy or anything we want to discuss merchandise-wise. And then we're going to share any Dick Tracy news. So we'll start with Dick Tracy purchase / merchandise of the week. James, have you made a Dick Tracy purchase this week?
You know what? I actually have. So I haven't actually properly looked at this yet, but my purchase of the week is this, if you can see it. It is a Mad comic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Is that Breathless and Tess fighting in the background?
Yeah, it is Breathless and Tess and Tracy, and obviously the Mad Kid is replacing the actual kid from the film. January 91. So obviously, a fair few months there after the film actually came out.
Yeah.
So
and what's in it? Have you actually looked at it, or is it sealed?
Yeah, it's sealed, and I haven't even opened it. But what better time than now?
That's right.
So yeah, and I just looking at it. It's obviously all paper interior in there. So I mean, obviously this could be.
Is it a whole
slow.
issue about Dick Tracy, or is it just part of it? I can't remember reading Mad for years.
So there is in here. Maybe it's something we'll tweet on. Tracy.
Stick Tracy, yeah.
That could have been good if he'd actually had the prosthetic nose.
Yeah, Stick Tracy.
Stick Tracy.
And we'll put this up on our social media. We'll put this up so people can see it.
Yeah. So there you go. So I'll do that. Yeah. And I mean, we could probably dedicate an episode or a part of an episode to this actual comic. Yeah.
Yeah, we can read that. Yeah. And we will cover comic books and spin-offs as well, because there's quite a few of them. I also have a purchase.
Yeah.
I've got Premiere Magazine.
Oh,
with
nice.
Warren Beatty, Donna, and Al Pacino on the cover, and this is from July 1990. So this is pretty much at the time. And there's an article in here, an interview, I think, with R.G. Armstrong, which we can go over at a later date. But
that was an American film, Mag, right? That wasn't
Premiere.
in the UK?
Yeah. That's an American one.
Yeah.
So just saw that knocking around for £1, so I thought I'd grab that.
Nice. That is a good purchase.
Dick Tracy news then. I mean, obviously, this is going to be a limited feature, depending on what's going on in the world. But we do actually have some news from 6 days ago.
Okay, do tell.
So, Thomas Causey, Causey, I want to say Causey, sound mixer on Dick Tracy, has died.
Okay.
So, it's some sad news, but the sound mixer from the film has just died.
It's just making me think, this section is just going to be an obituary, isn't it, every single week? Who's died now?
Oh, God. Dick Van Dyke, just hang in there.
Come on.
He's 100. But I think if you look back at previous news prior to that, it's pretty much, you're right, obituaries going back throughout last year and before, every kind of 6 months. Someone involved in Dick Tracy will die. But we're going to keep checking the news every week, because at some point, Warren Beatty might announce Dick Tracy 2.
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah, I think he's done it previously. He's announced that he might be working on something, and it turns out to be one of the Dick Tracy specials.
Yeah, and another special just to hold on to those rights.
We'll get onto the rights
Yeah.
a later podcast. We've got tons to cover, but I think today we've probably gone over just about enough to kind of whet people's appetites.
Right.
James, next week, what will we be talking about on the podcast?
So next week, we are going to talk about the figures, the Playmates toys that came out. Obviously a big part.
And we've got
us.
some to bring on camera as well and discuss and we both have some of these toys to show, which we're very excited about. There's one actually hiding behind me there, you can see on the shelf. So next week on Talking Dick, the Dick Tracy movie podcast, we'll be discussing the Playmates action figures. Please tune in on your Dick Tracy watch. We never even mentioned the watch, did we?
No, massive thing. Oh God,
we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we will.
And check it out and subscribe and enjoy our social media pages and look forward to seeing you there at the Southside Warehouse.
Yeah, see you next time.
Thanks for listening. If you'd like to get in touch, you can email us at dtmoviepodcast@gmail.com. You'll also find us on X and Instagram at dtmoviepodcast. Or come and join our Facebook group, the Dick Tracy Movie Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel for bonus videos and extra content.